I like to talk a little bit about certain things, and I was able to sit down and just really dove into, if you will, the documentary. I'd heard a lot about it, but just being a busy guy, I never really sat down and watched it. But I said I want to be in the know because I knew you guys were coming in, so I did do my homework too, Claude. Now, once again, you can join us on Facebook Live. You can also check us out on YouTube, and you just simply type in WNOV 860, and it'll pop up, so you get a chance to see Lichtenstein. I'll never get that right. Help me again.
Lichtenstein. You gotta think of it like I have an itch in my steam.
Okay.
Lichtenstein.
Yeah. What's the first name again?
Brad.
We're just gonna go with Brad. Brad Lichtenstein. Wow.
That'll work.
I'm getting better. But Grammy Award winning. Let's talk about
Grammy,
that. Emmy. Yeah, that's right. Let me get that right.
We're on our way to an EGOT, though.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. What inspired to tell the story? What inspired you guys to decide that this story needed to be told? Oh, you on the wrong. I got you. There you go. Let's go. That should be. There you go.
Okay. Well, the thing about it is that the inspiration is Milwaukee, number one.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at the film, it's a Milwaukee film. It's a Milwaukee story. And unfortunately, this story starts off with heartache and stress and the trauma of gunshots and everything like that. But it also champions the love that Milwaukee gives when things like that happen. How we stand on each other's for each other. You know what I'm saying? So when this happened, one of the main things that I wanted to do was to show Milwaukee what was going on. It's not just a news clip of 30 seconds. It was a real person, a person that a lot of people knew, a person that was successful and still got caught up into the crime.
Let's give the backstory for those that don't know.
Okay.
You're here for a class reunion.
Yep.
Visiting, drop your friend off.
Right.
Just kind of as many of us do. So you watched him go in the house, but you're doing something on your phone, and a strange vehicle pulls up, and
Yep. And the thing about it is that I've been in Charlotte. It's it's a different city. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't. Sometimes you lose those rhythms and those vibes, and I didn't really catch on that something was going wrong. And by the time I caught on, the young men identified that they was going to carjack me. And so as I was trying to pull off, one of the young man who actually got out the car and started tapping the window with the gun. I thought still I could just go ahead and punch the car, and he wasn't going to shoot, but he did. He shot into the car, ended up shooting me through my jaw. Drove myself over to St. Joseph's,
right,
and was fortunate enough to actually make it.
Right.
That was one of the main things, the main goals. And then the whole process went on, because in 2 days, the young man that shot me, who was 15 years old at the time, he got shot 2 days later.
Right.
In another attempted carjacking, the young lady Victoria, who actually he attacked, had a carry and concealed weapon and shot him. And the unfortunate part about it is that we was in the hospital, the same time. We was in Children's, I was in Frederick, we was on the same campus. So it was, and lucky enough, Detective Lewandowski was able to, extract a confession from him. And that's when the whole process of, what you see in the film of what's going through the judicial system. And all of that, when you talk about the motivation, now all of a sudden it switches into what we feel and how we grew up thinking about the justice system and what justice is.
Right.
And so that's what the film really portrays of the 360-degree view of how one shooting can just affect so many lives, the ripple effects of it.
And there was a certain portion whereas you went into speaking of not just the emotional, but even the financial.
Oh yeah.
And all of these different shootings that we hear about throughout the city, the impact that has on lives, man. I mean, here you are, trying to go to school, trying to get your law piece together. Your wife's an attorney already, which was a plus. I'm sure having her on that side, you guys kind of knew how to navigate the system, if you will.
Absolutely.
But again, it really interesting story. I saw a place that I frequent, 12th and Meineke. How does that correlate into? Because I missed that part.
Yeah. When we start talking about who I am as a person and where I come from, at the time when I was on 12th and Monarchy, that was a boarding house that my auntie actually had at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And
is that the corner house?
The corner house, right on that corner.
Right.
There you got the two bars right there,
Right.
in the corner house.
Right.
And that was my aunt's house. And I had left home right before, when I was 16 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And just like, angst of a teenager, dealing with parents and stuff like that. And
Mm-hmm.
and I started to live alone. I lived in the boarding house. So, I was just talking, and when we showed that, we were just trying to show, this is my thought process of how I was coming into relating to this young man and the stresses that he was having, not having a father and things like that, and I could see myself making certain or not having to make certain decisions that he did. When he said yes to certain things, I was blessed enough to say no, and I didn't get caught up, and I was able to get out of that situation.
When I watched and a big part of it for me was watching the young lady that you spoke to that ended up shooting him, and him subsequently being paralyzed. A lot of people when they hear the story, because I've talked to a couple of people about it since I watched the documentary, and they feel like it's karma. But when I speak to you and I hear the interviews and the different things that you do, how do you forgive and just continue to be able to go on with life? And in some way, I feel like you've forgiven him.
Yeah.
Where are we at with that?
When it was presented to me in a thought process. First of all, you try to, when you start to relate, you start to knowing the situation, and you realizing that it's a 15-year-old kid. I have a son that was almost probably a year apart at the same age. So I'm raising a young black man that could be in the same situation as this young black man. You know what I'm saying? So you start thinking about what potential is. What is this doing to our community? What is this doing to our society? It's just being angry and mad going to solve the issue. Because I'm not the only person that's going to be in this situation. Right. There's going to be so many. I want to start to show there's other pathways that we can go. Right. And the thing about it is that even standing up to the judicial system that think they're doing what's right for you and putting my voice in it, I thought was important. So when you start talking about forgiveness, you got to start there. You got to first start forgiving yourself. You got to start getting the security in yourself to be able to do it. But I would start thinking about him too.
But I'll tell you what I found really interesting was your ability to get the young man's mother on camera, and her speaking to him absconding after giving so many different chances to just, maybe we'll be able to keep this in juvie court or kids court, children's court or what have you. But he continued to run. Yeah. Cut his bracelet off, and even in a wheelchair, while, mind you, he's doing this. Yeah. So what message did that really send to the judge, other than that, hey, we gotta go ahead and waive him into adult court?
And it was a blessing. I give Brad all the thought processes. My mind wasn't right there to be, incorporating the mother and things like that, and her process through the thing. But Brad actually did a wonderful job of bringing that to me and talking me through it and doing it and then coming back to me. But but the thing about it is that you don't have when a person's not understanding not only their opportunities but are wanting to actually diverge from it in the most rebellious way, you say, hey, listen, I got whoopings before, and I know how I came out. Sometimes I was going to do it again. It didn't matter, right? You know what I'm saying? So you understand that mindset that okay, you just don't care. So it wasn't a response, even though we know what that response, going to adult court in a wheelchair at 15. About to go to prison. We know that that's a hard path to take. Yeah, for sure. And that's the reason why we was like, it was so hard for us to actually do it, but it had to be done because he wasn't getting the message. Right.
What have we seen, Brad? Emmy, how does all of this come about?
Well, directing the film came about just from our friendship. We've known each other for 21 years, I think. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And
you don't look a day over 21.
Come on. Come on. I was at the gym yesterday.
Right.
But Claude recovered at my house. So we started making this film almost immediately. And it was a family discussion. Kim, his wife, and I, and Ann, my wife, all talking about it.
Absolutely.
And you called out Nathan's mom, Regina, who I felt a real affinity towards, just as a parent, and thinking about what she must be going through, trying to, she was really stuck. She felt immense shame for what her son had done to
Mhm.
Claude. And of course, then she's also trying to look out for the interests of her son, and she's trying to hold her own life together.
Right.
I think the whole film is just a look at all the different ways that a single bullet affects so many
Right,
people.
right.
Then when you think, as you said, about multiplying that by how many times that happens just in this city,
Right.
it's a lot to go through. And I'm just glad we could present a story that maybe people will find, some kind of connection to, that helps stem gun violence in some kind of way, helps people make different choices than the one that Nathan ended up making,
Mhm.
somehow by seeing how the story plays out and then relating it to their own lives.
And I guess what I really like about it, if that's the word that I need to use here, is that it's real. It's not some fictitious character or somebody wrote this. This was this man's life. This really transpired, and the message is not lost. Trust me. I mean, there were times, Claude, just to be honest with you, as a man, I teared, man. Man, to watch, the scars and everything that you had to endure, man. And then when it broke again and they had to take hip bone to replace, man, I cried for you.
No, I appreciate
I
that.
cried for you, brother. And trust me, there's so many that this, every time we hear of a shooting, trust me, somebody's life has been torn apart.
Yep.
And for you to be able to sit here smiling, looking at me, man, I feel really good. Every time I see you, man, it does something for me. Brad, thank you for what role you played and giving this to the world, man. I mean, and to get an Emmy, that means somebody did something right. There was some great production and directions and all of that good stuff, man. How did it get nominated? What was the process for that?
Well, I don't know how it got nominated. That's a secret. But I mean,
There's
not a
to
secret to me too.
Right,
Like I have
right.
no idea. But we were just lucky. I mean, that ceremony was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and we was up against some heavy hitters too.
Yeah, we were up
I
against
mean, I think
Netflix
Netflix and Showtime, and had Henry Gates had a film in there. We was up against some heavy hitters, so it was definitely a shock. But the first people the first group that actually believed that this was NPR. Was it
Public ITVS. Public
ITVS,
television.
right? ITVS, and they believed in it. They gave us the seed money to go ahead and start this, and they believed in the story, and so they were very much, we were very proud that they were there with us when we got the Emmy, because
awesome.
Yeah, it was really nice to actually get up there and shock the world almost.
And give a speech.
Right.
Who gave the speech?
Both of us.
Yeah, both of
Really?
us. I don't remember nothing I said.
Yeah, I don't remember anything I said
Too
either.
caught up in the moment.
I didn't
man.
even know where the stairs were to get up to the
Wow.
get up to the stage.
You were not ready for that.
We were shocked. We
Yeah,
were
I
shocked.
could imagine.
Yeah.
So now we talked the other day, and I understand that you guys know a little something about blues, right?
Well, yeah, you go ahead.
Listen, the bad part about it is that when you first asked, I was like,
Right.
oh man, I don't know nothing about the blues, and so I said I got to do my homework,
Right.
and so start listening to a little Bobby Blue Bland, a little Muddy Waters, some BB King, and I realized that I know a lot about the blues.
Right.
I was like, man, the blues is going to go get some barbecue.
That's it.
The blues is
That's it.
is Juneteenth Day, a couple tenths on Juneteenth
That's
Day.
it. That's it.
The blues is your daddy going to the bar talking about, we're gonna run up in here real quick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Don't tell
saying?
your mama.
Don't tell your mama.
That's the blues.
That's the blues, man. You know what I'm saying? I realize,
Right.
and so I might not be able to name the songs or the people, but it's been in my life. It's in my life blood.
Right.
And when I think about it, I say I was just thinking about it today. Like, how do I express this now? Because now I have a whole different thought process.
Mhm.
But I was like, the blues is part of somebody. It ain't about if you like it. It's if I love it. And when it come out, when you get it, you sit up there and say, man, what you put in this? You know what I'm saying? What's up in this? Because you be like, man, a little love, a little hurt, a little
There you go.
depression.
Absolutely.
It
Absolutely.
is, and it's ours. And it's ours. So
I'll give you a little different orientation. To the
Okay,
blues.
Let's go. Let's go.
I-
Let's hear this.
I grew up in the South. I grew up in Atlanta,
Okay.
and my dad was a big blues guy. He loved Bobby Blue Bland. He loved BB King, and he used to always tell stories because he grew up in segregation.
Right.
So he would go to what was considered a black nightclub called Pascal's back in the, I guess, late 50s or something like that.
Okay.
And he would have to, it's like reverse, right? He would have to be in the back and catch the acts that were coming on and,
Right.
in the old Chitlin circuit. And then that got into me, his old 8-tracks. And then the first job I ever worked on TV was a history of the blues.
Okay.
So I started learning about the blues. And Yeah, we'll talk. We'll talk.
So you might know something about this next record I'm about to play.
Maybe.
Let's see. Y'all ready? Let's go.
Let's do this.
That's Chitlin Circuit right there. B.B. King, Sweet 16.
When I first met you, baby, you were down a sweet 16. Yes, when I first met you, baby, you were down sweet 16. You just left your home, little woman. Oh, the sweetest thing I've ever seen. But you wouldn't do nothing, baby.
Wouldn't do a doggone thing I tell you to do. You never had to tell nobody that?
All the time.
You wouldn't be talking about your wife, would you?
I got kids too. So.
Wait, glad you cleaned that up. Brad, you got a wife and kids?
I got a wife and kids.
Really? So anything you want to say to try to get yourself in the doghouse right now? I don't know.
I give my wife the blues.
I don't know, but we have the phone lines are lit up. So let's just see what's going on here. WNOV, who is this?
Hi, this is Vanessa.
Hi, Vanessa. How are you?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I caught the tail end of the interview. Where can I watch that documentary at?
Gentlemen, any one of you can answer that.
Oh, you can watch the documentary When Claude Got Shot almost anywhere. If you just Google Watch When Claude Got Shot, it's on Amazon and Apple and YouTube and Ovid. It's all over.
Yeah, I think my wife said she even found it on Roku.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
it's on
Roku
Roku.
television. Yeah.
Wow.
So did
Okay.
that answer your question?
It does, and you gentlemen have a great day. Thank you.
Thank
All right,
you.
Thank you.
Let's take another caller. We have another caller here. WNOV, go right ahead, caller.
Yeah, I just had a question. That documentary, what is the name of that?
When Claude Got Shot.
When Claude got shot. Okay.
Pretty
All right, thank you.
simple.
Great
Pretty
show as always.
All right, thank you.
All right, we bet. Bye.
Man, I tell you, blues, as you were saying, Claude, it tells a story like this next one here. The old lady ain't treating you right, and everything. So you tell her something like this. You tell her, say, if you're gonna walk on my love, at least you could take off your shoes. No, I'm sorry, I switched it up. I figured we'd do this Albert King crosscut song. Here we go. I see what your dad was doing. He liked it. I like that too. WNOV caller, go right ahead. You're on the air.
Good morning, people. This is Gilchrist again.
Yes, Miss Gilchrist.
Now, that Claude, what you're talking today, is his last name Motley?
Yes.
Oh, my Lord. We stayed in the same house. His dad named Charles.
Yes, that's my father. That's my father's child.
You know Rachel, Reggie and Sonia.
Absolutely.
You went to school with them.
Yes, I
I
did.
said, no, I remember when you got shot, but I hadn't heard no more about it. But when he said got shot, I said, This ain't none of my baby what I used to keep when his mama used to go to work up there on that corner on.
You got him blushing over here, Miss Gilchrist. You got him blushing, boy.
Oh man, that's why I tell you, it's so nice to hear from you. It's so nice to hear from you.
Yeah, be sure to tell your dad still around.
Nah, he passed away.
Oh,
Both my
did he?
dad and mom.
Yeah. Well, what about the girl?
My sister Teresa, she's still around. She's still
Okay.
around.
And you got another sister,
Carla, Patty, Starlet, all of them.
Sal, yes. And Claude, what's her name? The girl. What was Rachel and her was the same in the class.
Yep, Teresa.
Teresa, she always is Teresa. They were all in class together. We stayed in the same house, and sometimes your daddy would get loose, and I said, "Oh Lord."
Oh Lord. Gilchrist, now call him back later. Talk. He needs to put all the man bitters in the street.
All right, take care, Claudia, and tell everybody I said hi to Miss Gilchrist.
I certainly will do that. It's certainly good to hear from you, Miss Gilchrist.
Yeah. And good you brought that so people can see it, let it go full circle, so people can understand. You can't play around out here in these streets. These people will hurt you.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
ma'am.
absolutely,
Yes, ma'am.
absolutely.
Take care.
All right.
Take care now.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
All right.
you still in Atlanta?
No, that's I'm down in Charlotte. That's Brad about to go down to Atlanta, but I'm down in Charlotte.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, y'all all take care and be safe, and God bless you.
All right. now.
Gilchrist, you're gonna start paying for airtime. You staying on the air as much as me.
What? I asked you what did you need, what you want.
Okay, let me take another caller though. Thank you
All
so
right.
much. Okay.
All right.
WNOV, go right ahead, caller.
Hi, I know this is not pertaining to the show what you're talking about, but I wanted to put a shout out. Darlene Strong been in the system. I mean, in the area a long time, and she passed away. I just wanted to let everybody know.
Who?
Darlene Strong.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much.
Okay.
All right. Bye bye.
You know
Man,
what?
go ahead.
I was gonna say that that's the reason why. That's the reason why this story had to be told.
Mhm.
Because roots runs deep here in Milwaukee,
Mhm.
and it's nothing but love that I had, and even in my anger, it ain't that far away from the love that you feel. So
Right.
this man, almost like I said, you got me out here in my feelings.
But it's like, man, I try to like you, Claude. I mean, you're a very likable guy, man. But I'm from that other South Side school called South Division. I know you went to Tech. We kind of rivals, man. So for me to be cool, but I see my guy Charles in the documentary as well.
Yeah. Charles.
So Charles went to Tech with you.
Charles went to. Yeah, he was a little older.
I wish
than
I
me.
had known that before he did the carpentry work at my house. I would not have hired him if I knew he was from Tech. Yeah.
He sprung that on you a little late.
Yeah, well, no, I found out about it in the documentary. Yeah. So it was way too late.
But the work was done right.
Well,
That's what I was saying.
Still got a draft in it. Still get a little draft in order to when he put in. So, what's his last name? Singleton.
Charles
Yeah.
Singleton. That's my guy. That's my guy.
Absolutely, man. So, what's the future look like for the both of you? What plans do we have?
I mean, we're doing some things. He's a creative. I'm gonna let him talk about what he's doing. But right now, I just came back from doing a restorative justice circle at the Racine Correctional Institution, which is a wonder. I mean, if you know about restorative justice, you saw a little piece of that when I got a chance to do a restorative conference with Nathan. And this is a process that you go through. And from that, I started to grow my thought processes on how we get to points of healing. And so I started my nonprofit, the Forgiveness Project, and right now, and it's going to be incorporating both, reduction of gun violence and also restorative justice processes. And we got a podcast that we're working on. We're going to get it going pretty soon here, but it's called Son of a Gun. Yeah, and we're going to be talking about how guns are incorporated in our lives, not making any judgments, but how we actually are every day affected by just guns, period. And so that's what we're doing. Got some other irons in the fire.
I can say it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we're putting together a scripted version, an adaptation of the documentary. So we're meeting with some writers actually next week.
28th, yeah.
28, 2 weeks. And we're very lucky that Terrell McCraney is involved in that project. He's the guy who did Moonlight and won the Oscar in 2018, I think, for that. And then we have a director attached, and we're doing the agent thing,
Right,
shopping
right.
it around. And all
So you
that.
guys are won't recognize me the next time I see you.
Oh yeah. Oh, we'll recognize you.
WNO who? What?
I told Mary, I said, man, they said, could you do some things? I said, I grew up with WNOV, man. I was listening to this when Grandmaster Flash was. I was in the backyard on, and listen to this show. So I don't. Hey, listen, this is my heart and soul right here.
Right,
so.
man. As an attorney,
Mm-hmm.
just kind of moving through the whole piece, man. Have you kind of turned yourself more to the restorative piece? I mean, as far as trying to give people options as far as so that their children don't. Do you do public speaking for churches, schools? I mean, your agency, let's speak to that in particular and how people can reach you.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing about it is that we can talk about, we had an impact campaign after this all came out, and we worked with getting the name right now.
The League.
We work with the League, and
they're an organization that's actually based all over, but mostly in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they just won two anthem
Just
awards
won
for
the big
work.
award for impact.
Yeah, for our impact campaign. So we've
Okay.
been, and that's what we've done with the whole thing. We've worked with Every Time for Gun Safety. We worked with the NBA. Went to a couple of cities with that. We worked all over Safe and Sound here, and just all over, and we were able to actually show the movie, but actually decompressed and talked about it. And that's where some of the most, enlightening and powerful conversations that we had. And we continue to do that. We're always open to it, because this is obviously a story that doesn't, I had to say that it doesn't go away. It hasn't gone away.
Right,
And so we're still doing it. You can always look at whenclaudeGotshot.com or .org and find out how to actually, if you want us to come and talk about it and bill us or get us to come talk, you can go to the forgivenessproject.com. You should be able to reach me out, or a Lincoln or whatever. I'm on, on all the social medias also. So, yeah.
And I'll just shout out another Milwaukee person, Santana Wilson Coleman.
Yep.
She was the coordinator for all the impact around the country and here in Milwaukee.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I mean, y'all want to play some more blues, man? What y'all want
Yeah,
to play?
let's play some.
Y'all don't know nothing about this stuff right here. I'm getting ready to play right now. You don't know nothing about that. That was Sweet 16, that first one we played, right?
Yep.
Then we just did Crosscut Saw, right?
Right.
Wait, let's take this phone call right quick. Let's see who this is. WNOV, go right ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning. Listening to the broadcast. Wasn't mad that it interrupted my blues, Claude. But your story is very intriguing and it's promising. Not a lot of people get to live to tell that side of the story and have the outcome. It's sad. It's speaking with the mother, the court system, but the downside for the young man, he was later hurt, paralyzed, but I wish that a number of our young men could see this and learn from this, and maybe it could curtail their activities in the neighborhood. Because I'm from Washington High School, and see Rodney Barrage, young men, and doing up in Washington. It's good in one sense, but it hurts my heart to see that my alumni school has went so far to the left. But I think the work that you're doing with that documentary, you can help others.
Well, I appreciate that. One of the things that I really wanted to be an example to others about, the paths that they can take when it comes down to dealing with their anger and frustration about what's happening, like you're talking about with, seeing your school not achieving the things what we want in our society. But I must say this: we all can do something. We all gotta, definitely. Yep. Because it takes. Because the thing about it is this about what I did was about our community. And I think that it takes a community to heal a community. So, so just, look for those opportunities, look to get involved, get on those school board councils and things like that. So that's my message.
All right, caller. I think I know who this caller is too. It sounds like my Uncle Dennis. Uncle Dennis?
I might know you.
Yeah, I think you might know. Say bye now. Just say bye.
Love you, man.
Yeah. He amazes me in how intellectually he can be, because he doesn't talk that way when you see him in person.
Bro.
All right, don't. All right, bye now. Man, first time that I've actually kind of did this kind of a segment in the show, and it works well for me because
okay.
I've been practicing on my talk show hosting.
There you
Yeah,
go.
you're
Guys
doing a
are-
good job.
We all can grow, right?
Yeah, we all can grow. Yeah, even Carvey's growing. He's 18 years
I was
old.
about to say, we hitting the milestone, didn't we? You can vote.
Yeah.
This is the year to do
See,
it.
everybody know you can vote, Carvey. You got to see that's a big piece. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. So what is the future? And I know what I wanted to ask you. How has it affected your children?
That's a good question.
It is a good question. The thing about it is that you have to. When I was thinking about this whole situation, about how it's going to affect my children, especially opening up, my wife, you mentioned her and everything like that. She's a dynamo within herself. She had her own documentary before our documentary. In fact, one of the scenes is her documentary team doing it when we were looking for trying to identify in the lineup. That was their documentary. So they were already open to the whole process of being on film and things like that. But when you talk about the trauma that this, one of the things that was important for me is to put forth a strong face and have a direction in what I was talking about. So we got a chance to actually have conversations about, I was hurt, but it's not about me being hurt at this point, because you can't change that. But there's things that you can change, how you think about it, how you're going to proceed, what you set up as wins in that situation. And unfortunately, I think it's been very healthy for them to have,
because you would imagine that even children would go through emotional roller coasters.
Oh yeah.
Something
Well, one of
like
Claude's kids wrote about it for her college essay,
yeah.
and I know. I mean, we're all close, so
Right,
I know.
Well,
We've
my daughter's living with you at this point.
when you
Diva
say
stays with
Claude,
us.
Claude recuperated in your home. That said a lot to me.
Well, and Soul, his son was with us when it happened, so it's all kind of just
it's
been
all
a,
intertwined.
And it's just amazing how things transpire. You come home for a class reunion, and your whole life changes.
Yeah.
Was there ever a point that you, or maybe even your wife even said to you, why did you didn't even have to go? Why did we,
You second guess everything. When you're in a situation, especially when your bullet that comes through your jaw that could go up 2 inches and go right through your head and go right through your neck.
Right.
You go through the whole gambit of emotions.
Right.
We was talking about this earlier about how, even when it comes down to the trauma that starts to push forward, all that anxiety pushes up, that depression pushes up into you. And you have to start looking at tools and start, thinking about how do you heal yourself also. So yeah, absolutely. It was tough. It was tough.
I could imagine. I could only imagine, because Lord knows I don't know. I'd probably be bitter. I'd be angry. I just know me.
Yeah.
Now, that might have been you saying the same thing I'm saying now if it had happened to me, because, or were you just always this kind person?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely.
Sound like one of them tech guys. It's just kind, generous.
Claude's
I love my
always
brothers.
no. I mean, y'all can joke, but you've always been a very open-hearted person.
Well, yeah, I am. But when it comes down to something that's so violent,
yeah,
you do.
No, in the journey, you
That's exactly what I'm
transform.
saying.
And
Right.
there's actually a moment in the film. I don't know if this struck you, but it always struck me when we're outside of the courthouse or outside the courtroom, and Claude is kind of at that moment where he's like, "What am I fighting for? I don't even know anymore."
Right.
And at that moment he kind of felt unmoored, and I think that's what it does to you. It messes with
The scene that got me, and again, and I kind of spoke to it earlier, when I don't know whose house you were at, but you go in and you're just laying these bills out. It's just bills after bills.
That's at his
after
house.
bills.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you're $100,000 in debt, 5 surgeries later. And I think you spoke to, like, your insurance dropped you or something like that.
Yeah. I had a couple of insurances drop me.
Right.
know.
You finally found one to accept you or something. Yeah.
Right.
It's just like the things we don't think about when we pull that one shot, just that one muscle moving right there, could change people's lives, not just the individual, not just the victim, but we're talking about kids, wife, church, schoolmates. Charles, I saw a lot of your high school mates in the documentary. So how did you pull that off? I mean, you weren't that likable, were you?
Let me tell you, I know y'all don't understand the South about family, but that's my tech family. You know what I'm trying to say, and the thing about it is that even we got closer. You know, it's funny when I got shot. Like I was supposed to be at the reunion the next day, and they announced it. And by the time that they were the next Sunday, I had already been through 2 surgeries, and they filled up my room. They came in, and the nurse came in and was like, "Who got shot? Like, who are you?" Like, you know what I'm saying? Because they was there from the jump. So when I told them about what we were doing and expressing, everybody was right there. You know,
Wow.
and
Wow.
but like I said before, just like we heard with the caller, there's a lot of love in Milwaukee. I've been here pretty much all my life, and we have a lot of deep roots here, and that's where I wanted to give back, give them the opportunity to talk.
Man, let me play this blues, man. see. I'm gonna simplify it for you. I think I'm gonna do this one right here. You might not know nothing about this, but your daddy probably would. Let me see this one. We'll do this one. What did we do this one already? Let me see. What did we do? Here we go. Oh, you got that one, Brad. That's BB. That's right.
To ask me about my juke joint experience in Mississippi.
All right.
Thrill is gone. The thrill is gone away. The thrill is gone, baby. The thrill is gone away. You know you done me wrong, baby.
Yeah.
And you'll be sorry someday.
Talking about it, it's like, I don't know.
The thrill is gone. It's gone away from me.
Check it up here.
The thrill is gone, baby. The thrill is gone away from me. Although I'll still live on, but so long way out. The thrill is gone. It's gone away for good. Oh, the thrill is gone. Baby, it's gone away for good. Someday I know I'll be over it all, baby. Just like I know what a man should. You know I'm free now, baby.
I'm free from your
free from
spell.
your spell.
Any singing? You guys do any singing?
Oh,
You know what? I got one story. The crazy thing is that, like I said, I act like I didn't know nothing about the blues.
Uh-huh.
But we used to have a piano downstairs, and my father, nobody played the piano in our house except my father. He would go downstairs and he would do this chord, and we just heard the chord. It was doom 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 doom, and he would play that thing for 2-3 hours, drinking and just going sweating. You know what I'm trying to say?
Would he sing along with it?
No, he wasn't singing. He was just trying to get that out of the system.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And we would go down there.
Now, I did see him in the documentary.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and he looked like a dude that listened to blues. And so, I mean, he just but I didn't think about the blues. I just thought it was music, and that was him. He couldn't play nothing else. So I was like, okay.
So we did a featured artist today, and my featured artist today is Johnny Taylor. You familiar with Johnny Taylor?
Sure.
Yeah, that was
one of the big records. I think you alluded to it the other day when I said something about the blues, and you was like, I got $2 and I'm gonna save. One was that you?
That one.
Oh, I talked to so many people, but that might have been President Joe Biden. He said he had two. No, I'm just kidding. And we've been busy around here this week, man.
Hey, he probably listened to some blues this week.
Did he come in here?
Well, he didn't physically come, but he
Right.
did phone in. So we did a real nice piece with him. Actually got picked up on CNN.
Oh, did he?
Nice.
So yeah, we've been in the limelight this week. Then we have Emmy award winning guys coming in like yourselves. Man. I mean, it's just been like geez. Do I want to play music anymore? Do I want to be a talk show host? I told you I'm practicing. I'm getting this thing together. No, I'm kidding. I'm gonna play my blues. Watch this.
You're tied up, you better stay tied up because it's cheaper to keep her. This is from T. It says, it's cheaper to keep her. It's cheaper to keep her. When your little girl make you mad, and you get an attitude and pack your bags. 5 little children that you're leaving behind. Son, you're gonna pay some alimony or do some time. That's why it's cheaper to keep her. Help me say it, y'all. It's cheaper to keep her.
It's cheaper to keep her.
See, when you get to stand that judge in the face, you're gonna wanna cuss the whole race. That's why it's cheaper to keep her.
It's cheaper to keep her. It's cheaper to keep her. It's cheaper. It's cheaper. It's cheaper. It's cheaper. It's cheaper to keep her.
You didn't pay but $2 to bring the little girl home. Now you're about to pay $2,000 to leave her alone. You see another woman out there and you want to make a change, but she ain't gonna want you because you won't have a damn thing. That's why it's cheaper to keep her. Everybody sing along with me. It's cheaper to keep her.
It's cheaper to keep her.
By the time you get through looking at judge in the face, you're gonna wanna cuss the whole race. That's why it's cheaper to keep her. It's cheaper to keep her.
It's cheaper to keep her. It's cheaper. It's cheaper. It's cheaper to keep her.
I know you think the grass is greener way over on the other side. When that judge give you that dirty look, you may as well put your money in mama's pocketbook. That's why it's cheaper to keep her. Cost too much to leave her alone. Yeah, I know it's cheaper to keep her. Yeah,
it's cheaper to keep her.
Cause you gonna pay some alimony if you leave home.
It's cheaper to keep her.
I tell y'all, it's cheaper to keep her. All the fellas out there know what I'm talking about. Don't you know that it's cheaper to stay at home? I gotta tell you, I'm bringing the message tonight.
It's cheaper.
It's cheaper to keep her. Cheaper to keep her. Cheaper to keep her.
Cheaper to keep her.
She gon' cost you too much if you let her go, man. It's cheaper to keep her.
It's cheaper.
You might as well put up with your little arguments and fuss and fight. Let her go. I'm gonna tell you something tonight. I tell you, it's cheaper to keep her.
It's cheaper.
Ain't it, man?
It's cheaper.
Ain't it cheaper to keep her?
She say your party's jumping and everybody's having a good time. And you know what's going through my mind. Do you mind if I get comfortable and kick off these shoes? While you fixing me a drink, Play me some of them down home blues. She said, you know, I don't get out much on the town. And you know I done cut out a lot of that running around all week long. I've been keeping my cool.
So now this song here's where we're now everybody knows this one, right?
But tonight I'm gonna let my head down.
You know Johnny Taylor. Okay. What about you, Brad? Well, you may not know the artist, but the song is.
I know the song.
That's ZZ Hill.
Okay.
Yeah, ZZ Hill.
You know, I went off on sort of a rabbit hole with the blues when I was, I was probably in my 20s working on that program. I hitchhiked from, believe it or not, from Memphis to Clarksdale, and then Clarksdale down to a little town called Mount Bayou, Mississippi. And then someone turned me on to this guy named Junior Kimbrough. Have you ever heard of Junior Kimbrough?
Junior Kimbrough. I can't say that I have.
He was on a label called Fat Possum. And
boy.
There were like 4 guys on that label. One was T Model Ford, one was Junior Kimbrough. I can't call the others right now. So I went over to his farm. He had all of his family, and people would come in. They'd have a big circle kind of in the barn, and he played what he called blues trance music. So he'd play like classic blues, but then he would just repeat the chords, and then it would go kind of up and down and modulate. And there weren't very many words. It was mostly just that, but people would get into a trance, and there might have been a few other things to help you get into the trance. And we'd be there all night. It was a crazy, magical mystery tour kind of night.
Listen, I know you guys have taken, like a chunk of your day out to dedicate to our listeners, man. I want to thank you guys for coming.
You're very
by,
welcome.
Anything you want to say in parting, man? I mean, future projects, shout outs, whatever, And Brad Lichtenstein. Did I get it right?
There you go.
I'm the renowned Vittorio Lichtenstein.
Man, you might be.
Just hearing and all of the work that you've done, man, I certainly want to take my hat off to you, man.
Oh, thank you.
We were just talking about Eric Vaughn off mic, and I worked with Eric over at 1290, and just all of the work that you've done, man, to keep positive messages and uplift my race, the black race, because for those that are not looking at us on YouTube or Facebook, he has not the same level of pigmentation that I do. but yet Claude's his brother.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that says a lot about you, man, and certainly want to thank you for all that you do, man.
Appreciate that. And a good shout out to Eric Vaughn. He was a real friend, and we miss him all the time.
Oh yeah, for sure. Claude?
Listen, when I was doing my homework, I got a chance to talk to one of my old tech brothers. I used to play basketball with Dexter Hall, and he has his brother is an up-and-coming artist named the Stephen Hall Experience.
Oh, I heard of Stephen Hall.
Yeah, down in Racine, based in Racine. And
I think they played the jazz festival. Either they came up
IBC.
Here.
Well, he just won second place at the IBC.
Okay, you mean the Jazz Festival in New Orleans?
No. In Kenosha has one.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Okay.
I believe they were one of the featured bands.
Yeah. So I just wanted to give a shout out to him and make sure that people look him up because he's like 25 years old.
Well, we've got a blues series that we do at Clinton Rose Park.
Oh, really?
I think they upped it. It's like 12 weeks now, where it used to be. It started out as like 4 weeks, and then they upped it to 6 weeks. Now it's up to 12 weeks, where you'll be able to go to Clinton Rose on a Saturday afternoon and just listen to live bands free. A lot of them out of Chicago. So Stephen Hall will be one. I'll throw his name in the hat and see if we can get him down, man.
Absolutely. I would love to come up there.
When is that? In the summer?
Yes, it's summer concert series. I don't have exact dates yet, but this is the city of festivals, man. There's always some music going on over at St. Anne's. They have a band stage out there where they bring in the live entertainment and so forth. So always something to do. So keep that Stephen Hall in mind.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I'm gonna kick you out.
Man, it was a pleasure, man. I really thank you for having us.
Thank you, man. And yes. Oh yeah, you guys, you got to wave at the camera on your way out.
Oh, okay. Hey.
All right.
Love y'all.
Once again, thanks, guys, man. Listen, to my listeners, do yourself a favor. Take a look at the documentary. You will be glad that you did. I certainly am glad that I did. When I left my house this morning, I was telling a friend about it on the phone this morning, and my wife is, ear hustling, as they typically do. But as I was leaving out, she was watching the documentary.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice.
So I mean, it certainly gives you a different outlook on how we can be as people. We can live beyond these tragedies and circumstances and begin to learn how to heal and love. And it's nothing wrong with saying I'm sorry. It's nothing wrong with giving somebody a pass. Those are the kinds of things that the documentary reminded me of. Wow. Yeah. Man, you guys, it's been fun, man.
I appreciate it.
I'll get the hell
Really
out of here.
appreciate it.
I'm just kidding.
Much love, y'all.
We'll be right back.
She heard a story that wasn't true. And if she leaves me, I don't know what I'm gonna do. There's always somebody